It is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's the Tuesday puzzle today. Should be another fairly straightforward puzzle after Mondays. Actually, looking at it, just noticed through the gauzy privacy veil, we have a puzzle that is symmetrical about a vertical axis. Not the most common. More common than about the horizontal axis, but still less common than diagonal symmetry. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Or rotational symmetry, I suppose, more accurately than diagonal. So let's quickly mention a couple things. There's the new Twitter account at The Daily Solve. There's the Patreon campaign if you'd like to directly support this channel. Of course, all sorts of bonus videos up on there at patreon.com/dailysolve, and the Daily Solve Discord chat server. And there you can communicate, you can interact and socialize with other members of the viewing community of this channel and talk about crosswords, other puzzles, and crossword construction. It's very nice. And there's a link to that in the description field underneath the video. Patreon subscribers get an extra channel. All right, I'm moving on quickly to yesterday's clues because I'm under a slight time crunch today. I guessed at a few things yesterday, and I seemed to do all right in my guesses, and Kathy Swope says, excellent guessing today. So thank you, Kathy. She also points out that OAS is indeed the Organization of American States. It is the oldest regional organization in the world and has 34 member states. And that, of course, spans, as the clue indicated yesterday, from Canada down to Chile. Circadian Wolf says that Old Glory refers to the U.S. flag. Yeah, of course it does, as this is a classic case of something where I knew that. I was aware that was true, but being on the video solve, for some reason, I doubted my initial assumption and overthought it unnecessarily. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, Circadian Wolf goes on to explain, apparently there was a specific material first flag called Old Glory, originally the flag of a ship, whose Captain William Driver took it with him when he retired to Tennessee. When the American Civil War broke out, Driver hid the flag in order to avoid it being confiscated, and later loaned it to the Union Army when they took control of the area. After Driver's death, there is some dispute about what happened to the flag, with two flags in the family being claimed as the original Old Glory, but both are now in possession of the Smithsonian. And what else did we have? Kelly Mills confirms that TCU was my much less informed guess of Texas Christian University, but did get that right at least. And Archaeo Stunner 619 pointed out the same thing. And finally, what else? Joseph George Blaze says that fantasy football is indeed a common pastime in the UK, although, of course, here in the UK, that would be association football, or what is referred to often as soccer. And Bice Dibley says Australia as well, but with Aussie rules football. So that all makes sense. Okay, let's get on to today's puzzle. This is a Tuesday crossword by Eric Bornstein. I've seen that name before, certainly as a constructor, and edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's get started. Let's go. Money, money, money group. That would be ABBA. Tufts, or an abbreviation of tough minus a letter. Stout? No. Oh, it's going to need to end with an S, won't it? Because it has tufts. And I see this has 5 letters, so it'll be, it will be, as it says, minus a letter, so it'll have 5 of the 6 letters of tufts. Why am I not seeing it? Boy, that is infuriating. I'm sorry if you got right to it. I don't know. I see other anagrams in here, like shout, but I'm not seeing this one. That is infuriating. Let's look at the crosses. Kind of visa for just passing through an airport. A transit visa, perhaps? The Greek goddess of marriage. I'm actually not sure offhand. I don't remember. Gas or electricity. And we see electricity is abbreviated, indicating that the answer will also be abbreviated. A utility, I would think. And tennis's Steffi, that's Steffi Graf. I do remember that name. Oh, I see. Toughs are thugs. I wasn't really thinking about this properly. I was thinking of something like toughs it out, that sort of thing. This is a noun, a tough, a street tough, a thug. Tough in this way, not used as often these days. Maybe slightly archaic slang, but certainly completely accurate and valid. All right, is Hera the Greek goddess of marriage? Old but back in fashion is retro. How best to hit a ball for a home run? Solidly, I suppose? Seems logical enough. A font akin to Helvetica is Arial. Certainly, I think there are typographical nerds who would disagree with that claim. Greek goddess of marriage. Oh, whoops. Why did I say hero? Hera. And here we have our theme. A sort of investment suggested by the ends of 3, 11, and 29 down. We don't yet know what that is. But 11, singer profiled in the biopic Walk the Line. That was Johnny Cash, right? So we can put that in. So Cash. Excuse me, my voice is a bit hoarse this morning. I should have some more coffee. Okay, let's see. So 3 down is MLB record holder for most career home runs. Don't know. Humiliate could be a base, maybe. And sad could be blue, possibly. And get on it could be ASAP. ASAP is one of those abbreviations, one of those, well, I guess you could call it an acronym. You could pronounce it ASAP, that has become so ubiquitous that it doesn't necessarily need to be clued as an acronym or an abbreviation. It may not be the answer here, but if it is, I think it would be fine that get on it doesn't have the abbreviation indicator. A thick slice is a slab. Atmosphere could be an aura. There's a foreboding atmosphere, a foreboding aura around here. I see. A sort of investment suggested by the ends of 3, 11, and 29 down. Personal finance, I would think. So, is that right? Personal finance, a sort of investment? I mean, I suppose by sort of investment, it means a category of how people invest as opposed to a particular investment instrument. It's not an investment like a stock or share. It's a way in which people invest, a sort of investment. I think anyway, probably what it is. MLB record holder. Oh, Barry Bonds. Is Barry Bonds the record holder for most career home runs? Probably. I've heard that name, and it's an alliterative name, easier to remember than some. Barry Bonds. First half of a Senate vote, yay. So here we have another crossword with a number of American clues in here. The American Senate voting yay. And then a big doofus could be an oaf. Not the Organization of American States, but the OAF. All right, an exclamation upon reaching a customer service representative, maybe, finally. And let's look at our other theme clue, actually. Oh, it's another person, another American sports clue in this case. NBA commissioner starting in 2014. I have no idea. Blank, you are you, that is truer than true. To say impossible probably starts with no or not, I would think. Here we have trailing all others, could be last in line, maybe. Let's look at some crosses again. Profs helpers, so profs is a contracted form of professor, so we're similarly going to abbreviate or contract the answer. In this case, I think TAs for teaching assistants who assist professors. A quantity could be an amount, and again, quantity abbreviated, therefore amount abbreviated. Longtime CBS police drama, CSI, I suppose. And impossible could be not a chance. So this Dr. Seuss line could be today, to say you are you, that is truer than true. Today you are you, that is truer than true. I think it's probably today. And that does create Adam for the NBA commissioner. And Adam is someone's name, so that's plausible. And in a risky situation, I'm not sure yet. Let's keep looking. Nicholas the first or the second, each of those is a czar. And because it's an or, we're only referring to one of them. So it's a singular answer. A bloke. Well, we could have the slightly, I think, considered to be less accurate, but still sometimes used spelling of czar, Czar. And that would make bloke able to be a chap. I really wasn't seeing anything for bloke with a T. It's been a while since I've seen this spelling of czar. It's usually Tsar. And my wife, who speaks Russian fluently, informs me that Tsar is a better spelling. So I couldn't tell you why, but I would trust her on that. All right, 52 down. It doesn't mean a thing. 0, I suppose. And in addition could be also. And had in one hand's held. And behind in England. So this is referring to your rear end as opposed to the adjective to be behind something. It is an arse, your rear end, you're behind in England. So the British dialect of English. And deserving a D would be poor, a poor grade, a D. Alternative to in-store could be mail order, perhaps. That's a phrase you don't see often. I remember that from growing up, mail order, very common. Less used now that so many things are sold online and mail order is sort of almost the default way to order things. In a risky situation, on the something, not sure. Tandoor bread. So bread cooked in a tandoor, which is a clay oven used in Indian cuisine, could be a naan. And let's go back up. I don't know that we haven't seen these clues yet. The indent key on a keyboard is the tab key, a measurement for passes and rushes. This will be a sports thing, presumably yards. So quite a lot of American sport today. Measurement for passes and rushes. We've got the NBA commissioner, the MLB record holder for most career home runs, and it doesn't seem to have actually anything to do with the theme. It seems to be its own minor sub-theme on top of the theme of personal finance. Oh, it just occurred to me, we can use this theme to try and figure out Adam whatever. So sort of investment suggested by the ends of these clues. Bonds, cash, and stocks. Could it be Adam stocks or Adam shares? That doesn't look right here, does it? Does it look right with any of these? They have ears, it said. The walls have ears. No, I don't think it. Okay, that was a misfire. Let's fill in some of these acrosses. They have ears, it said. The walls have ears, it's sometimes said. Intimidates, could be cows, maybe. You cow somebody, you intimidate them. Lead into the hill or the top, could be over the hill or over the top. And what were you thinking here? And reason for a school day off could be a snow day. If you picked a card, you drew a card. You could say drew or drew a card, and they both sort of mean that. A reviled Roman emperor, Nero, who they say fiddled while Rome burns, although I believe historians consider Nero to not have been as completely incompetent and negligent as the sort of popular histories indicate. All right, a place to cook a turkey is an oven. Part of an act in a play, for instance, could be a scene. Act 2, Scene 3, say. A blacksmith's block could be an anvil. So what is this? Oh, Adam silver. Interesting. So personal finance, bonds, cash, and silver. Don't know about that. I mean, I suppose. Feels though bonds, cash, and stocks are really the components of personal finance, I would say. But you can individually invest in silver. Why not? You could buy silver coins or ingots. Do they sell silver ingots? I have no idea. Contraction starting a Christmas poem was 'twas the night before Christmas. And in a risky situation is on thin ice. There we go. I'll be right with you could be in a second. And flicked as a cigarette could be ashed. When you ash your cigarette, sort of tap off the ashes. An Apple desktop, so in this case, it's Apple. The company Apple Computer manufactures the iMac computer. And if something is silly, it is inane. A curving billiards shot. I don't know. Another sports clue, though, isn't it? You could say. And something is tightly packed, it's dense. Rapper fronting the heavy metal band Body Count. Ice-T? I didn't know Ice-T fronted a heavy metal band. And a horse for a knight is the knight's steed. So a curving billiards shot is a mass, I suppose. I'm not familiar with that term, shockingly. Where chess is believed to have originated India, that's certainly correct. And late night host O'Brien is Conan O'Brien, another American cultural clue here. It's 99% empty space, an atom. It's sort of terrifying how much of everything, including matter, is empty space. It's sort of existentially strange. If something is understood, it is tacit, understood without needing to be stated explicitly. And, maybe not. I wrote canon for O'Brien. Don't know what I was doing there. I thought I'd gotten something else wrong, but to make reparations is to atone, and then that fills in the car company that shares its name with an inventor, which is Tesla. So that looks right. Here we have, darn, or damn. But I'm guessing based on the sort of tenor of the clue, that's not very profane. It's not very aggressive. So I think it's more likely to be darn. And let's look at this clue. I disagree. Nay. So we have yays in the Senate vote and nay. Yay and nay. Yay pointing towards nay. Here we have Coke versus Pepsi, e.g., I suppose, an ad war. And one could claim you don't need any sort of abbreviation indicator for ad war. And one could also claim that there isn't one in Coke versus Pepsi, e.g. Versus and e.g. don't necessarily, even though those are both abbreviations, they don't necessarily need to count as abbreviation indicators because they're so commonly used in this form. But, because they're essentially helper words. They're not really substantial operative words of the clue in the way that Coke and Pepsi are. But similarly, you could claim that ad is a word in its own right and therefore also doesn't need to be considered an abbreviation. So I suppose that all sort of fits. I don't know if that was the intention. Slightly open is ajar as a door. An agricultural giant founded in Hawaii in 1851. That would be Dole. The fruit, I don't know what you'd call them. Plantation company, I don't know. A smart aleck is what you'd call a wiseacre, I guess. And what time would be when? And then here we have philosopher René Descartes. I think René, similarly, filling in a clue about Descartes, was within the last 3 days, maybe, of the crossword. I always do suspect that Will Shortz, the editor, arranges these crosswords to create those little echoes. I don't know that, to be sure, but it's always my suspicion. Okay, and I think that's the crossword. Will it validate? It will. There it is. That was the Tuesday puzzle. So sort of an odd puzzle, I would say, in that we have a very clear and straightforward theme. We have this personal finance thing with bonds, silver, and cash. But two of the three, so all three of the themes were American sort of public figures, I suppose you could say. But two of them were sports people, and there was more sport throughout the puzzle with yards, and I'm sure there were a couple others, but I'm not going to remember where they were. So we had Steffi Graf and I don't know, maybe something else. In any case, sort of an odd thing. We had as many sports-related things as we did personal finance-related things, because we had at least 4 sports clues, and we had 4 of these things that comprised the personal finance theme. So Yeah, sort of odd. Definitely not a sort of puzzle I was best equipped to solve with respect to the sports things, but it was a Tuesday, so not all that difficult. Was able to get everything with crosses. Let me know if you had the same experience. I mean, obviously, there are plenty of people, I'm sure, who watch this series who know all the sports things inside and out, and therefore that none of what I just said would have been much of an obstacle or a concern. But do let me know how you fared. I'm always curious, especially people coming from different contexts. And I think I'm actually going to be able to get out of here on time, which is great. So let me quickly wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. I hope you enjoyed the solve. And if you did, please do subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. It's the only two ways I can think that I have to spread this series to a bigger audience is for people to subscribe to it, and therefore for the YouTube algorithm to think maybe people like this. Perhaps I, the disembodied YouTube algorithm, will recommend it to other people who might enjoy it. And the only other way is for you to be that algorithm and to recommend it to people you know who you think you might like it, or to your internet community at large. And so, for doing either of those things, thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel more individually and directly, you can contribute to the Patreon campaign. For a few pounds a month, or the equivalent in your local currency, you will get access to all of the bonus solves I've done to date, as well as each new bonus solve as they come online, including the weekly mini puzzle speed solves, the monthly New York Times bonus puzzle, and the weekly Boss Words Fall Themeless Challenge competition puzzles, those very tricky puzzles that put me through 20 minutes of abuse each week, or thereabouts, plus or minus a few minutes. So if you enjoy watching me struggle with some difficult crosswords, those are the videos for you. And if you contribute at a certain level, you will also get an exclusive mug as well as recognition at the end of these videos on a monthly basis. And to that end, today I would like to thank Austi Pellicer, as well as always, Hood Monster, the inestimable Hood Monster, I should say, and the incomparable Shantanu Bhatia. So thank you, Austi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If I'm not, please do let me know. And thank you, Hood Monster, and thank you, Shantanu, and thank you, everybody else who has contributed to the Patreon. Your ongoing support makes me able to produce this thing as a part of my daily work, and for that, I'm quite grateful. So thank you. And thanks to you for getting to the end of the video. I appreciate that as well. Thanks for sticking it out. I think that helps the algorithm as well when people watch the whole video. I don't know why I'm on this algorithm kick today. I suppose it's because we all live in a world of algorithms now. Anyway, strange note on which to end, but nonetheless, that is the note on which I'm ending it. So please do return tomorrow for the Wednesday puzzle. The midweek puzzle will creep up a little bit in difficulty, presumably, for the mid-difficulty puzzle, and I hope you'll be there for it. But until that point, have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.